And welcome back to The Watchman, only right here on TBN. We're talking to former Israeli Defense Forces Chief of Staff, General Benny Gantz, about the threats facing Israel and much more. We're taking an overall view of the region today with General Gantz. And now we end up, General Gantz, in the south. Obviously, we had Operation Protective Edge, which you oversaw for the IDF in 2014. Hamas was weakened in that conflict. But now what do we see? Do we see Hamas building back up with the rockets and missiles? We know about these terror tunnels which were exposed to the world in 2014. What's the level of the Hamas threat right now?
I believe that they are trying to rebuild their capabilities that were badly damaged during Protective Edge. It's not as easy as it was before because we have intercepted many shipments that came from Iran to Gaza in the Red Sea. The Egyptians are doing more fighting those channels. And of course, that it's harder for them on the ground, but they are trying to rebuild their capabilities. So let's seriously look at Gaza as a whole. 1.8 million who lives there, entitled to have reasonable life. It's Hamas that prevent them from having reasonable life. Look at Gaza. Gaza could become Hong Kong. Why does it have to be Gaza? If Hamas would decide not to attack Israel and to really take care of its own people, to divert all the resources that it gets to the people themselves, whether it comes from Israel, whether it's cement, whether it's merchandise, everything, just for the good of the people, it's a whole different story over there. We have zero interest in Gaza to exclude security. Prime Minister Sharon pulled everyone out. 2005, we disengaged from Gaza. I mean, what can one ask for more? Just live your life, get good education, do something good with it. So, but they have decided to attack us. You know, the only thing that came from Gaza, more than missile, is patients that came to be treated in Israeli hospitals. And I'm very proud of it. That even though they are our enemy, we don't forget that we are human beings.
It's amazing to me, General, that there have been, 4 or 5 major outbreaks with Gaza in the past decade, and they keep coming back. They're relentlessly committed to this goal of destroying Israel.
Let me tell you a story about my mother, my late mother. My mother was a Holocaust survivor. She came to Israel, and I was raised in a small village in the southern part of the country. And during Castle operation, which is 3 or 4 back, missiles reached our backyard, and I called her and asked her, "Mom, are you going to the shelter?" And she said, "No, I'm not going to the shelter. Everything is okay, etc., etc." We had a nice discussion. And then she said to me, "You know, you should never stop fighting, but never stop sending them food." So that's kind of a message that we actually hold in our both hands. We will fight as much as we need, but we will stay human, we will stay Israelis, we will stay good people as much as we can.
You look at Protective Edge in 2014, Israel goes to, I would say, unprecedented really in the annals of warfare, unprecedented steps to avoid civilian casualties. Can you talk about that a bit?
Unfortunately, Hamas and other terrorist organizations are operating from civilian surroundings and environment. It's physical, it's technical, we see them in Gaza sending missiles from backyards of houses, schools, hospitals. We see them operating, even the terrorist attack that we see now in Europe are using civilian channels of command and control. So they're using civilian infrastructure, all those cases. We had a delegation of 25 foreign chief of staff that came to visit us after the war.
After the 2014 war?
Yeah, after the 2014 war. And they said that we have set moral standards that others cannot follow. And if that's my grade, I'm fine with it.